Was your dad a cop or a detective from as long as you can remember, or was it like
his whole life?
Yeah.
My father was Detective Duffy. If I showed you a picture of him, you would laugh because he's Columbo coat, the whole 9 yards.
How did he end up being in Bronx?
Harlem, right?
Harlem.
Harlem.
Dad was in Harlem. That's where they put him. He was there until the very end of his career when they sent him to Brooklyn, and that lasted about 5 minutes. He left, and then he went to another law enforcement job, then another one after that.
Why, he didn't like it?
It was different. He was a homicide detective.
Wow.
So it was much different in that time where you kept stuff inside, so you could see. And they hung together. They drank their beers, smoked 3 packs of Camels a day. Just old time stuff.
How did his work affect like your home life and your childhood? Like, were you aware of the severity of like you saw you wrote about not knowing if he's going to come home every day? Were you
Yes.
privy to that as a kid? Like, did you understand the severity of that?
Terrified.
Yeah.
Terrified that he wouldn't come home, and because back then there was no contact. When you went to work, you worked when you were done, and he didn't make overtime or anything. And Harlem was at the time, a really, really bad place.
Yeah.
I mean, to laugh at it. When we were kids, he would go to pick up his check, and we would be in the car, and the precinct would be here, and there'd be junkies all over the place, and the building over here would be on fire. But, hey, Dad, don't leave us in the car, man. Just go in, come out. And it was like, just going into the candy store for him.
Wow.
But
did he like tell you stories, or did he keep you distance from it?
he didn't have to, because unfortunately 2 guys from his precinct got killed, and that affected him.
Oh boy.
Forever.
Yeah,
forever. That's all he ever talked about. And one of them got out of jail recently. So God rest my father's soul.
How did your mom handle all that?
The old-fashioned housewife. Yeah. An older brother, younger sister, 4 years apart. So we had everything and nothing in common. My brother was my idol. He was all city, you name it. I didn't want to play football, but at baseball he was great. You guys are kind of young, but the A's won 3 World Series in a row. 72, 73, 74. My brother got letters from the A's all those years. But he cut his hand. Yeah, he got into a fight. I didn't want to tell you why. We got into a fight, and he cut his hand, and his pitching career was over.
It's in your biography, it says that 250 years combined together.
Probably more.
Oh my!
Yeah, I was telling my daughter, between me and my father alone, it's like 76 years.
Jeez.
And between uncles, my grandfather did 35. That was my dad's dad, Pop, from the Depression on, because back in the day, there was no jobs for people with Irish last names. It was like just Irish need not apply. They had signs in the windows. And the only job was around was cops. And that's why the whole family, my Uncle George, he was actually my dad's uncle. My Uncle Tommy, who just passed away recently, he did about 38 years or whatever. My brother-in-law, my nephew's a cop now. So it's...
Did you have a choice for yourself? Did you
Yeah.
So your father never pressured Mike,
no.
You have to do this, you have to do this.
When did you have a draw to want to do that yourself?
Not at all. Because my job that I thought was going to last forever, but I was already in the system, was tanking. They cut the salary, they cut everything, so I had to start taking tests. So I took every test possible.
About how
Became
old?
a cop. And then by that time I was in my 30s, but I had already had 20 years of servicing with the state. And when I went into the police department, and then the courts called, I went to the courts. So this was a good move. Yeah.
So that led me to another question. Obviously, we're not going to talk about the departments, anything. Mm-hmm. So how, you have 1 daughter and 1 son,
yes.
Right? Is that correct?
Yep.
And any of them want to be police officers?
Yes. Yeah, my daughter right now presently is in the academy for the police department. My son is my family come from a family of civil servants, so as the test comes around, you take all of them. Mikey just took the fire department test.
Wow.
Took the Nassau County police test, which is a very good job. He did very well on it too. So he's still in school. He's in West Virginia. He's a mini me. But he gets away. Hey, he gets away with shit like I never did. Yeah.
When you say take tests, is that, do you like go and you said you take a bunch of tests?
Yeah.
Are the results, do the results guide where you end up going, or do you set your sights on something and then you take the like?
Well, what happens is the results come out and you get on a list. And depending on how well you did, and if you have military or something, now they give points for living in the city, if it's a city test, and you just get on the list and it goes down. Usually, historically, it takes about 1,000 candidates to get 100 people, because for several reasons they don't make it, or they took another job or something like that, or they just don't want it. But it's a long process. Something depends on the need. NYPD needs people quick because it's a huge department, you know, like 38,000 guys. So you could have thousands of guys retire in 1 month, you know, so they have to replenish.
Have you ever had privilege like, hey, Dad, I want to be in this department. I want to be this. Can you call your connections? Or it's never like, nope.
All I could say about that, with my dad, growing up, everybody came to my father, and usually one phone call, and that was it.
Business is up. Like, what kind of business do you want? No problem. I'll take care of it.
I got a guy.
Yeah.
I know someone who knows someone who knows someone.
All legal on the up and up, but
right.
I got a guy. Right.
I got a guy.
Yeah.
So of all your years as a cop, like roughly how many were like in the courts, and then what kind of work did you do before that as a cop?
I was an inspector at the racetrack, where after the races we used to check the horses for drugs. So we have to testify. I was really surprised. A lot of them came up positive. Wow. And actually recently one of the Derby winners came up positive. So that was a pretty big deal.
Wow.
But that's what we did. We would sit in the court and thing and sit in front of the judge. And I had to testify as to what the horse did. My job was to ID the horse, to make sure they weren't running any ringers. You know what a ringer is, right?
No.
You know,
what is it?
Swap a horse out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, say the horse that ran, on the way back, another horse was put in its place. So,
and that would be a clean horse, like they would swap
right,
it, so it wouldn't track the
It's kind of like guys, you know, that are going for a job and
Do
somebody gives
test,
them something
some
and
urine, yeah.
Say, all right, well, that's kind of cold. How is that possible?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was.
How do you test the horses for drugs?
They collect urine and blood samples. Yeah. When I first started,
like humans, huh?
When I first started, it was saliva.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
What kind of drugs would you like? Just any kind of
exotic, usually from Africa, that's undetectable. And it got so, like New York, you had to run clean across the board, but then a lot of the states started letting them run on a drug called Lasix, because it prevents bleeding. Because you see them come back from a race, they bleed through both nostrils. Wow. It was pretty wild. And then there was a thing called milkshaking, where they used to load them up with vitamins. And New York, I guess, had to comply with there was a minimal amount that you were allowed. And there was another drug called Butte, it's like a painkiller. Mm-hmm. But, you know, New York was the mecca of racing, and until they had the cave. I mean, that was years ago. That was over 30 years ago. In fact, my boss just retired last year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Speaking of drugs.
Never did them.
Yeah. I mean, we're not going to tell anything. The daughter is here. Only beers.